Hi, this is Tracy, and I wanted to share a little history of my Uncle Bob and myself so that you can see what it's like to teach virtually. So, all of my post conferences that I give with my nursing students are virtually taught, and that is something that teachers are doing more and more frequently. And since my Uncle Bob was a teacher, I thought it'd be kind of fun to show him what teaching is like today. So, I'm first going to share my screen and we are going to view the history of Robert Morsi Jr. All right, so I'm just going to move my camera to the other screen so I'm not looking in a different view. And then we're going to go through a little bit of my Uncle Bob. So Zachary, my son, had to do a family tree back when he was in high school. And what he did was he went back to see where our history is from. So I'm just going to make this a little larger and show you the Morsi side of the tree, where people were coming from Ireland and the US. And together they made Thomas Morsi and Julia Birmingham, and then John Swan and Julia Loic. And then obviously from those two, we have my grandpa Morsi, and then my grandma Morsi, so Margaret Swan. And then from these two, we get my Uncle Bob, my Aunt Julie, and my mom. Make this smaller, we'll go to the next slide. This is where my Uncle Bob's family grew up. This is my mom's house. It's off of Washington Road down in Kenosha, right next to a bar. And down the road is Washington Middle School. This is where they grew up and had many, many memories. Here are some of those memories. Here's my Grandpa Morsi, along with my Aunt Julie, my mom, and my Uncle Bob. And then we have my Uncle Bob here with my Aunt Julie and my mom, and I think they're celebrating Easter on the front porch of that house that you just saw. Here's that porch again, my Uncle Bob, my Aunt Julie, and my mom when they were little kids. This is the high school that my Uncle Bob went to. It's St. Joseph High School in Kenosha. And then I have my Uncle Bob with my mom and Aunt Julie with some dolls. I guess he liked his pistol. And who knew that Uncle Bob was so ahead of the times when he had his little headphone set on, visiting with his grandparents. Here is St. George, and this is the church that my mom and dad got married at, which my Uncle Bob was involved with. There's my Grandma Morsi and Grandpa Morsi, my Aunt Julie, and there's my Uncle Bob with my mom. They look so happy. Then I was born, and there's my Grandma Morsi with me when I was just a baby. And there's me with my brother Todd. And look at how lovely Uncle Bob is with my Aunt Rita and Grandma's house. That is that house that I showed you at the beginning, my Uncle Al. And I think that looks like Pam. There I am with my brother Todd and my Uncle Bob. And there's my Uncle Bob and my Aunt Rita taking a little nap in that home on Washington Boulevard. Washington Road, sorry. There's the house again with all of the cousins. And of course, right here in the front is Paulette, who is your daughter, along with my cousin Patty, Pam, myself, Todd, Tommy, Tara, and Paulette. Then Grandma and Grandpa moved from Washington Road to this new house here on 73rd. And we had many memories in this house also. Here's some of those memories that we had at Thanksgiving where we would all get together. This might have been Christmas all together. And I was so fortunate to be at the big table with Patty. You have my Aunt Julie, Uncle Al, my mom, Aunt Rita, Uncle Bob, Grandma, and Grandpa. I think my dad was taking the picture. And here I am with my brother Todd and my sister Tara. And then we would celebrate sometimes in other people's homes, like my home, my mom's house, or at my Aunt Julie's house. And here we are celebrating Thanksgiving there with my mom, my aunt, Uncle Al, Aunt Rita, Uncle Bob, Grandma, and Grandpa. One big happy family. Look at that leisure suit you're wearing, Uncle Bob. Classic. Then our family came along. It's my mom, my dad, myself, my brother Todd, Tara, Tim, and Troy. And of course, there we are in our pyramid in our house on Washington Road. Just some more pictures of our family as we grew up. And then, of course, who are these two little ones? Paulette and Colleen. I used to love carrying around Colleen around the house, love having kids. I went off to school and became a nurse, went to Carroll College, and this is my best friend, Ellen, and we celebrated graduation that day. Then I met my husband, Brett. I've been working at Children's in surgery, so this is a very young picture of myself when I first started at Children's. Then we got married, and you were lucky enough to attend our wedding, which was a blast. There you are with Colleen and your cousins, Gary and Linda and their kids. And here we are at our wedding again with all of our relatives from the Morrissey side of the family. So here you are in the corner, along with Tara and Todd and Tim's over here, or Tim and Allison and Troy over there. My mom and dad, one big happy family. Here we are in Florida. We celebrated my mom and dad's 40th anniversary and all the grandkids that were there. Great time. Then there's my family, my husband, Zach, Rachel, Josh, Heather, Matt, and Anthony. And of course, since we live in Wisconsin, we love the Packers and would get dressed up often to celebrate their games. We also love going to Brewer games. So here's a picture at the Miller Park. Zach, Rachel, Josh, Heather, Matt, and Anthony. And here I am with my mom, my sister, and myself. We would go to Great America a lot. Kids love doing the rides there. And these are just current family pictures. Well, this one's a little older, but this one's brand spanking new. This is when we were celebrating Heather's confirmation from St. Leonard's. She actually took the name Mary after my mom. So Zach, Josh, Anthony, Rachel, Heather, and Matt. My husband Brett is buried in the background. Here's our Christmas at my parents' house with all of the cousins. My mom and dad, or Santa, gave them all pillows that year. They always like to do some sort of theme for that. Oops, there goes the lights. That's what happens when you have electricity. All right, there's our family here. And then we just took this picture before Rachel went back to college. She's at Carthage College down in Kenosha. So we got Zach, Rachel, Josh, Heather, Matt, and Anthony in our home in Muskego. Since COVID hit, I had to run the COVID hotline and testing center, and these are just a couple pictures of me running that center. Obviously, we had to swab people for COVID, and kind of had that as an offshoot job since school was going virtual and I had some downtime. So I just wanted to wish you a happy 80th birthday and just wanted to have you see what it's like to do virtual teaching in the virtual world and share a little history of you. So happy birthday, Uncle Bob. Love you.